Hey everybody, welcome back to Survival Heights Season 2, my amplified hardcore single player survival series. And as you just probably saw, we have now surpassed day 600 in this world, which means I have made some progress since the previous episode. So I want to start off today going over some of the progress I've made and the different things that I have done. So the most annoying one you can probably hear right now is this. This is very temporary, but this is for all of the poppies that come from our iron farm. We have so many poppies that I decided to make a little bit of a composter here to turn all of these into bone meal. So if we get any more poppies, we can always just bring them over to here. But for now, we're just gonna leave that as is. And speaking of the iron farm, I've been clearing out the iron farm recently as well. And this is all of the iron blocks we have from it so far. So needless to say, the iron farm has been working pretty well over the last few weeks, so we could probably turn it off sometime soon. I'm not gonna need that much iron for a very, very long time, but might as well keep it running. Why not get some more iron since we have the chest over there for it? Something else I wanted to mention as well, I built a few houses over here in the farming village. I have a house there that I built recently. I have a house up here, I believe, on this other side. These are pretty generic houses, but I thought it would be pretty cool to have some of these houses at different elevations and whatnot. And we're gonna keep adding houses here and there. You'll see that's the most recent one that I did. It actually has a little bit of a dock at the back where we can land from an elytra. So I'm gonna keep working on some of those houses and adding different houses to the farming village. Not that we really need to have a whole bunch of just general houses. We need more specialized stuff, but it fills the area, and well, honestly, I like filling up the area like that. The other thing as well over on this side is the nether portal. So I did get some feedback from you all. Some people liked it. Some people said it was still missing some things. And I can try experimenting. I haven't done it yet, but some little bits of wood. I was thinking some oak wood might work pretty well with this. Or even add a little bit of like some trees around the area would really help the portal out. I definitely don't think it looks bad like this. I did actually go ahead and add some hay bales here. I don't know if I showed you guys that in the last episode or not. So I added a few hay bales here. But we can experiment and see if wood would work any better. I kind of like this, but it seemed like there were some people who weren't a huge fan of it. They were probably okay with it, but not a huge fan of it. So we'll experiment with that hopefully here in the near future. But the major update for today is over on this side. As you can see, I have finished the last pillar over here. So that means the basics of this villager trading hall are now complete. If we go ahead and drop down here, yeah, the basics of this are now complete, which means we have plenty of spaces to go ahead and add in villagers, which really shouldn't be that difficult. We need to add in probably a zombie villager going around the back so that we can actually turn these guys into the 1 emerald trades or whatnot. But I don't know. I think this place looks pretty good. If we head down here, let me know down in the comments section what you guys think of this. It seems like most people have enjoyed this this little villager trading hall here, but let me know regardless what you think of it down below. I'm happy that it's pretty much finally finished in terms of the texturing for it. It's just a matter of getting some villagers into here now. But ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to be working around this area for the majority of today's episode. Today, I want to start our next big project. And of course, we have this village going on in the background. We'll add some houses and stuff. We'll have different episodes going on with that. But I think it's time we start our next big project. And that involves, if we go over this way, I think I showed you all this in the previous episode or the one before that, we have ourselves an ocean monument over here that we need to raid. And of course, this is going to be the site of where our guardian farm is going to be. It's super close to spawn, which is really nice. And I think what's going to be a great thing to have in today's episode to show you guys how I raid an ocean monument. It's actually really simple. There's only 3 elder guardians in here. This is one of the quickest raids you'll probably do in any of sort of the boss battle areas in Minecraft. So for me, it's super simple, but in order to do that, I need to grab some potions. So folks, without further ado, let's jump on into today's episode. I need to get some potions, probably some water breathing, maybe some night vision as well for underwater. But regardless, I need to make those. Let me go ahead, get prepared for this ocean monument raid, and then we'll get right into it. So I've gone ahead and gotten all the things that I need. I'm only taking actually a few things with me. We have some water breathing potions for 8 minutes, night vision for 8 minutes, and I'm bringing some doors to create some air pockets in case we need that for whatever reason, if my potion runs out or something and I don't want to use another one. Not that we should need it, but we should probably be beating this thing in less than 8 minutes. So let's go ahead and do this. That's the night vision so we can see underwater. Water breathing. Put these on our hotbar. Let's get going. There we go. That is whatever that was called. I always forget what that's called, but okay, we head up through here. We need to find the bosses. So there's one on each wing and then one in the center middle. Let's see if we can get the 2 wings first. That'll probably be the easiest. And if we can find a sponge room, that is extra bonus for us. So down here, nope. So back here. So this is the main room with the gold. We're not gonna be able to mine through there until we get rid of the Elder Guardians. So I'm not even gonna mess with that. But if we head down the middle here, nothing here. I kind of randomly go through this thing, to be honest with you. Ooh, sponge room, yes. I don't think I've ever had a sponge room. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back for this, but let me go ahead and take the cords of this. We're gonna wanna come back for that a little bit later because the sponge room is so key for us. It's kind of insane. I'm really, really glad that we have one of those. Let's see if we can find at least one boss. Okay, I think there's gonna be a boss this way. Be a boss in here? There should be a boss in here. I thought anyways, the boss might be out here. Let's see. Yep, there's a boss. Probably should have brought some blocks, actually. Ow. Yeah, I probably should have brought some blocks to block these guys off with. But it's fine. We'll just go ahead and take this guy down pretty quickly. Ow. Out of my way. There we go. Pretty easy. What was that, 5 or 6 shots, I think? Something like that. Let's go ahead and probably heal up. And then we can go ahead and take on the second guy. So I think if we head all the way around, ooh, that's a dolphin. I don't really want that. There is the second boss right there. This is the other wing. You can pretty much go around the sides in order to find this boss. So, oh goodness. Don't hurt me. Oh no. Those guys really do hurt though. Probably should have brought some regen potions as well. So, let's wait a minute and go back after this guy. Let's go back here. The thorns is really hurting me. My oh my. Hopefully one more hit. 2 more hits. There we go. Grab the sponge off this guy, and all we have to do now is find the guy in the middle. And it looks like we still have what? Yeah, about 4 to 5 minutes left on that. I was really scared of that one because we got a little bit too I guess into it for that one. So we need to find the middle of this thing. Which is gonna be somewhere. Oh, it's right here. Of course it's right here. All right, let's heal up real quick. Then we can head into the top. Let's do this, and we got them. All the bosses are now done. That actually took about 4 or so minutes, yeah. We can kill some of these guardians while we're here as well, but the next task we're gonna have for ourselves is to get rid of this mining fatigue. That way we can go ahead and take all this stuff from the sponge room, and then once we do that, we can get started hopefully on draining this area. So let me go ahead, guys, wait for the mining fatigue to wear off. I'll go grab the sponges as well, and then we can get going with starting to drain this thing. Bypassing all the time that it took for the effects to wear off and to get started with the wall, we're jumping right into today's time lapse, and this is the wall that we are constructing. As you'll be able to see, the sand wall that we'll start off constructing around the entire perimeter of where the ocean monument is. I'm starting off with the sand wall because it'll make it easier to contain the guardians and to contain the area in which I want to actually lay down the different walls and stuff, so we can end up using some of the sponges from the sponge room earlier in order to drain this thing. So I know these things do take quite a bit of time as well. I've actually drained ocean monuments before, and it hasn't exactly gone all that well. I mean, I've drained them fairly easily. Most of the draining is just, you can use sponges, you can use sand, you can use things like slime block machines as well as piston machines and things like that to remove all the water. I'm not using those. I'm going the sponge route and sort of the sand route as well. We do have at least 32 sponges, so that'll be plenty of sponges for us to need to use. But yeah, that's the route I'm going with, and we'll see how long this takes. Bypassing all the time that it took for the effects to wear off and to get started with the wall, we're jumping right into today's time lapse, and this is the wall that we are constructing. As you'll be able to see, the sand wall that we'll start off constructing around the entire perimeter of where the ocean monument is. I'm starting off with the sand wall because it'll make it easier to contain the guardians and to contain the area in which I want to actually lay down the different walls and stuff, so we can end up using some of the sponges from the sponge room earlier in order to drain this thing. So I know these things do take quite a bit of time as well. I've actually drained ocean monuments before, and it hasn't exactly gone all that well. I mean, I've drained them fairly easily. Most of the draining is just you can use sponges, you can use sand, you can use things like slime block machines as well, or piston machines and things like that to remove all the water. I'm not using those. I'm going the sponge route and sort of the sand route as well. We do have at least 32 sponges, so that'll be plenty of sponges for us to need to use. But yeah, that's the route I'm going with, and we'll see how long this takes. So this is the progress we have made thus far. We're basically halfway done with the border right now. I mean, of course we got a lot more. We got this whole border over here. We need to get all this out of the way, but this is what the circle's like. It actually has a diameter of 110 blocks. A little bit big, but I want to add in some area around the ocean monument for us to be able to plant maybe things like trees, or depending upon what I do with this, different various little builds around the monument as well. So I figured having a little bit of a bigger border would make a lot of sense. You also see right here that we're going on the inside of where the actual where this actual like stone border is. We're putting sand on the inside. That is because I had a great idea. I didn't have a great idea, but I got a great idea from Ziggy from Stream, how we could just put the sand on the inside, and then I would already want to put a wall on the outside, probably glass, so we can have the wall on the inside and just put the glass on the outside. And whenever we take down that wall, we're not gonna have to replace any. We're not gonna have to worry about replacing or having any water flowing into the ocean monument area. So I thought that was a pretty good idea, and as you can see, this is all of the progress that we've made thus far. I also tried using potions of invisibility. That required me taking off my armor though, and honestly, I started doing it and I realized that I wasn't super comfortable with it. You may have seen it. I don't know if I was able to get the time-lapse footage for that or not, but I wasn't super comfortable with that. So we went back to just using my armor, and we have a resistance 2 beacon in the middle right here. So if a guardian tries to attack me, it only takes like half a heart or something like that instead of the normal heart and a half. So we're making some progress. Hopefully we can get more of this done soon. I'm going to go back to work, guys, and see how much more of this I can get done in today's episode, because obviously this stuff does take quite a while to do, but I think it's going to be worth it in the future. So I'm going to get back to work, guys, see how much more I can get done. I'll be back with you all soon, hopefully with a progress update. Well, would you look at that? The entire border is now in place. Super happy that we actually finally got this done. It's been probably a few hours of work. I don't really know at this point, but it's been a little bit of time since that last clip. So we finally have the border in, and I've done something a little bit extra as well to show you guys some of the markings that I made and kind of how I want to go about this. So if we swim over here, you'll see some things I've made here. So you'll see some dye right here, and as we go around, you'll see some of this granite right here. So basically the granite here marks out the horizontal lines of where the horizontal sort of sand walls need to go in order to drain this thing. And then the diorite marked the vertical ones. So originally I was going to do cubes like this for the sponges. I don't know if that's going to necessarily work out, or if that's necessarily the best way of doing things. It probably will work out, but it may not be the best way of doing things. So what I'm going to do first off is probably just put in the horizontal rows here, which I believe, yeah, it's this granite right here. Put in the horizontal walls of sand right here, and then try to start draining things and see how that goes. I don't really know the most efficient way of doing this, and we don't necessarily have to do it the most efficient way. It's just gonna help, I guess, with time constraints and whatnot. So I'll look into it. We're gonna start adding in some of the walls of sand pretty dang soon. And for the walls, I was actually shown this little handy dandy redstone contraption right here. I don't know where exactly it came from, but this is something that people tend to use, I guess, for draining ocean monuments. So if you do it by hand, essentially you have one piston, a block next to it, you have a redstone dust right here, you have a repeater facing this way, and a redstone torch. And what this does, I think it only extends out, it can only push things out 12 blocks, because that's what only thing pistons can push out to, or that however long it can. It's only length that it can do, the max length anyways. You can sort of place sand down like this, and it'll automatically place sand for you, and all I have to do is sort of right click on this thing and beware of the guardians around here as well, as long as they don't get in my way. And I just have to sit here basically and place sand as long as I have sand, and it makes my job a whole lot easier. So this is actually what I'm going to go ahead and use, guys, to go ahead and get at least a few of these walls in so we can start testing some of the sponges and whatnot. So yeah, let me go ahead and get going with this stuff, and I'll bring you guys back for a progress update in just a minute. So I've already gone ahead and cleared out one section of this. It was kind of the hardest section to do because it is on that little curve area right here. It's the closest small curve, and I tried a few different things that cleared it all the way down here, but I want to show you all exactly the method that I think I'll be using moving forward. So as you can see, this is 5 wide in the middle as the guardian tries to attack me once again. So what I'm thinking about doing is going 2 from the side here and then placing a sponge here so that doesn't get this side apparently. That's a little bit too far. Anyways, so something along those lines. I think we put a gap of 2 in between, and then we place a sponge, gap of 2, sponge, gap of 2, sponge, all the way down. You can see the sort of layer that it forms down there as we go across. So yeah, pretty much all the way across like that. I think it's gonna get most of it. It may not be perfect, but it should get most of it. I'm gonna have to do a few edits here or there, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, guys, and go ahead and work some more on clearing this area out of all its water. And I'll bring you guys back for hopefully a progress update and show you all how this thing is going in just a moment. So I've been making steady progress. We're still kind of inching our way through here. I tried a few different other methods as well for draining water, and honestly, it didn't really work out all that well. You will see here that I took out one of the lines of sand here. This is all the room that we've sort of cleared out so far. It's been a little bit of a process, but yeah, a lot of the methods are okay. They're not really all that great. If you guys do have a method you think is going to work fantastic, feel free to leave me a comment down below, because I am definitely open to suggestions for things to do around here. But obviously, of course, we will continue to work on placing down all these sand walls and hopefully getting all that stuff done pretty dang soon. I know these things usually take a while, but the sooner we get this done, the sooner we can actually start working on the build, the farm, and everything like that. Anyways, if we fly back over here to the base, we're zooming over here, you'll see I did do a little bit of some renovations here, or some modifications to the nether portal over here, which you'll really see. I only did 2 things. So I added in 2 pillars right here. If you go and put my chest plate on, I only added in 2 pillars right here. With one is both of stripped oak, and then the back there is all birchwood to sort of lighten things up a little bit. I think it looks a little bit better. I think it sort of frames things in a little bit better, but I don't know if it's still the best. If we actually go around the back here, you'll see I have a lot of terraforming that I need to do back here. Yeah, you can see the bird sticking out right there. So I got to do some of that, but outside of that, I think this nether portal is pretty much done now. If you guys have any small suggestions, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. But I do think that did add a little bit of color variation as well, which might help things out a little bit for that. So yeah, things are coming along. The world is coming along, and I am actually honestly enjoying how this world is shaping up. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually gonna wrap things up there for today. It's been a good one today. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy today's video, feel free to leave a like, and if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. But thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.